there is the case of Ron Ilg, the neonatal surgeon in Washington State, Spokane. And so he was an esteemed surgeon. He would deal with babies who are born to drug addicted mothers to wean them off the addiction so they could live healthy, happy lives. Very noble cause.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure in favor of babies being healthy and whatnot. But he was a psychopath. He had like a septic tank in his yard where he would put. Well, okay. To be fair, he alleges some of this was consensual. But he had a septic tank in his yard where he put his lovers for a whole like BDSM torture thing.
That's weird.
He made his lovers sign contracts in blood. Anyhow, he was subject to complaint at his place of work by a fellow surgeon for probably being a fucking asshole, god complex person. Right,
that's what it sounds like. Yeah,
he got fired from his job. At a similar amount of time, his wife wanted a divorce from him because he's a fucking psychopath. And he, being a psychopath control freak, well, how can I solve these problems? I know, I'll turn to the dark web, of course, right? So whilst he's holidaying in Mexico with his mistress, he places an order to what he thinks is a Mexican cartel website to, first of all, break the hands of his surgeon colleague. So the surgeon colleague can never work again, paying a bunch of money for that. Secondly, he pays a bunch of money to get his ex-wife kidnapped and drugged and made addicted to heroin and tortured for days, to the point that she's made dependent on heroin, can self-inject heroin, and has blackmail videos made of her taking heroin to be forced to return as a drug slave to her husband, for example. Meanwhile, with his mistress, he got his mistress to sign a contract in blood saying that no matter what happens, you will baby, no matter what. So he's a psychopath. Now, So this was happening while I was in Mexico. He flies back to the US, and we're working with the FBI at the time, and the FBI meets in the airport, and they're like, do you know anything about this website? And then they got his password from his safe, and they found the messages independently to corroborate him, and he got 8 years for trying to get his wife kidnapped and drug addicted, and his surgeon's hands broken. And even now, he's a nightmare trying to sell his book rights, has an obsessive fan rating YouTube videos and whatnot.
He's trying to sell a book.
Yeah, well, he can't. There's literally laws preventing you doing this.
Oh, okay.
But my point being is, he's one of the few cases where, like, he's a psychopath. He's an absolute psychopath, and he's now in prison, and his wife's safe, and his colleague's safe,